The Galactic Military Academy had existed for 15,000 years, and it had never admitted a student who failed the entry examination. Until Marcus Webb. The examination was designed to filter out species lacking basic combat instinct. It measured reaction time, tactical prediction, physical capability, and psychological resilience. Most applicants scored in ranges from acceptable to exceptional. Marcus scored in the bottom 5%. Headmaster Vorzak, a being of pure crystalline consciousness, reviewed the young human's file with what might have been disappointment. The child was only 11 Earth years old, barely past infancy by galactic standards. He had failed every single component of the entrance assessment. His reaction time was slow. His physical strength was negligible. His tactical predictions were erratic and illogical. Yet there was something in the psychological evaluation that made Vorzak pause. The assessors noted, subject demonstrates unusual persistence despite overwhelming failure. Shows no signs of learned helplessness. Continues attempting problem-solving after conventional pathways are exhausted. Against all protocol, Vorzak admitted Marcus to the Academy's remedial program, a decision that would become the subject of galactic academic debate for centuries to come. The other students mocked him immediately. A human child, smaller and weaker than any of them, attempting to compete in an institution where the average student was 50 times his age and size. The Kaurian warriors found him laughable. The ZYXTion tactical masters saw him as a waste of resources. Even the instructors approached him with barely concealed skepticism. Yet something unexpected occurred during the first combat simulation. Marcus was paired against a Torquethian cadet, a species evolved in high-gravity environments, naturally muscular and equipped with enhanced reflexes. The match lasted 43 seconds before the Torquethian had pinned Marcus to the ground with crushing force. But in those 43 seconds, something extraordinary happened. Marcus didn't try to fight his opponent's strength. Instead, he studied it. He observed where the Torquethian expected resistance and moved instead. He found the gaps in his opponent's defense by accepting his own limitations and working around them. When pinned, instead of struggling against impossible odds, Marcus did something no warrior in the academy had done in recent memory. He conceded early, learned from the defeat, and asked 17 specific questions about his opponent's combat philosophy. The Torquethian instructor was baffled. Over the following months, something remarkable unfolded. While other students relied on raw capability, Marcus developed something different, adaptive strategy. He began identifying patterns in how different species approached combat. He recognized that the ZYXTion reliance on predictive algorithms made them vulnerable to illogical decision-making. He noticed that the Kaurian warriors' physical dominance left them inflexible when facing unconventional tactics. But more importantly, Marcus began to understand something his instructors didn't. He had grown up on a death world where he was the weakest species. Every instinct he possessed was oriented toward survival against overwhelming odds. While his peers had learned to leverage their advantages, Marcus had learned to overcome his disadvantages. In tactical simulations, he began winning against opponents 10 times his size by recognizing that size itself could be a liability. In strategic exercises, he outmaneuvered cadets from species with superior intellects by making intuitive leaps their logic-based minds couldn't follow. In endurance training, his human capacity for pain management, developed through millennia of adapting to a hostile world, allowed him to persist beyond what any other species considered survivable. By the third year, Marcus was leading the advanced combat simulations. By the fifth year, he had broken every tactical record in Academy history. By graduation, he had accomplished something unprecedented. A human had become the Galactic Combat Academy's first-ranked graduate. At the graduation ceremony, Headmaster Vorzak addressed the assembled students and their various delegations from across the galaxy. 11 years ago, the crystalline being announced, we admitted a student who failed every entrance requirement. We did this because I observed something in his assessment that conventional metrics could not measure, the capacity to transform limitation into advantage. He gestured toward Marcus, standing among the graduates. This human child arrived from a world where weakness is the universal condition. Where every species must overcome its own fragility to survive. Where adaptation is not optional, it is survival. Vorzak paused. We built this academy on the premise that superior capability produces superior warriors. Today, this young human has taught us that capability without wisdom is merely power. But wisdom born from overcoming limitation? That produces something far more dangerous, mastery. Marcus stepped forward to accept his graduation honors, his small human frame barely visible among the towering aliens. Yet as he moved, there was something in his bearing that commanded respect, not through physical dominance, but through the quiet confidence of someone who had learned to thrive in conditions designed to destroy him. In the years that followed, Marcus would become legendary not as the strongest warrior in the galaxy, but as something far more formidable, the tactical visionary who proved that sometimes the greatest advantage is the necessity to overcome disadvantage.